I always liked animation, and I think that this was the short story, which is a monologue of a football player. There's really no story involved. It's just a little taste of it's a humor thing. Gave me a new twist on the old subgenre of the puppet coming to life, which did not start with Toy Story, because I can mention Pinocchio, the wooden toy soldier, and many others. This was very fresh, and it gave me the opportunity to talk about a subject matter which is a passion, which is very hard to talk to children about, because children had not lived through the passion of love, hopefully. They start younger and younger every day, but not that much. Or a betrayal, or kids are not exposed to passion that much, and this one gave me that chance. And you can see it in the last half hour of the movie, that they're really white knuckles, grabbing the chairs or yelling and applauding and all that, and it's really that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I like from the short story. It was a story itself. Football is a frame. I wouldn't call it a movie about football the same way that I wouldn't call Casablanca a movie about war. War is a frame, and things are triggered by the war, but they're about other emotions. And this is the same thing. This is a movie about friendship, about love, mostly about finding your best self. Football is just the framework on which it happens. Well, it's funny, but in a football game, things that in real life would take a long time to show, in a football game in less than 45 minutes, it brings out personalities. It puts it the time constraint gives it an immediacy and an urgency that brings out all the emotions that, as I say, in real life you would tend to hide or to show little by little or think about it too much. There it's emotion and passion, and this is what I like about football in a movie. It was great. I mean, he's a writer, and Eduardo is very famous for his short stories about football. So he's sort of a football specialist, and he's someone who found the quality that I like, which is his stories are not about professional football. They're not about professional big teams. They're about kids playing in a vacant lot. They have a lot of the flavor of the Roddy Doyle stories of the working class kids playing football, and he finds the epic in those little people, and I love it. I love his stories. They should be translated to English because they make you laugh and cry. It's really great, and he brought that spirit to the movie, and it really shows. He made a couple of changes, but they were very fundamental to the story. Because, this goes back to the old line, paint your village and you'll describe the world. I'm translating from Spanish here, so I don't know. I don't know if I said it correctly. But the emotions, this is a movie that takes place in a small town that doesn't really belong to any country. So the emotions are universal. I'm not going to quote Shylock here, but when you prick us, don't we bleed? No, we all feel the same things, really. We're not that different. And the more I travel, the more I confirm this. We all suffer for the same things and laugh at the same things and fall in love with the same things. And that's what's universal about it. It's a movie about those emotions. As I said before, there were really no animated movies that were a big reference to this movie. There are animated movies that I love, that I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of all the Warner Brothers cartoons and all the Bugs Bunny lying, their sarcasm, their wit. I love Toy Story 2, but it's not a particular influence on this one. This actually is more influenced by live action movies, by live action directors. It has a lot of humor by Ernst Lubitsch or Billy Wilder or many of the silent comedians. But I would not recall any animated movie that this was influenced by. The differences between a live action movie and an animated movie are tremendous. The process is upside down. In live action, you have a scene in front of you, you decide how to shoot it, and then you edit it. Here, you edit a scene, you then shoot it, and after 3 years, you have a scene in front of you. So it's really the other way around. I felt a lot like Beethoven at the end of his career when he was composing deaf. He couldn't hear what he was composing. Because really you make decisions here on the storyboard phase, which is, the character is frozen like this, and you decide how long the shot will be, so you keep acting it in your head, or you act it out loud or however, but the idea is to try not to animate one more frame than necessary. So you cut the whole film based on still drawings, and then you live with those decisions. And it's truly nerve-wracking. I cannot imagine an animated movie being the first movie of a person, because you really have to have a lot of training on from conception to execution to final process, because you basically are 2 years, the first 2 years, you don't see a finished scene.